Be seen, be heard, be remembered. Online events bring the world together. And the replays just go on forever.
Catchy tune, isn't it? I see you swaying your head.
Yeah, I'm loving it. That sounds really great.
Be seen, be heard, be remembered. It is something I've leaned into, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. Welcome, everyone, to the strategy session. The subject matter doesn't change. The intro did. But let me tell you, we have an exciting conversation lined up, and we're excited to have everyone join us, both on Team Live as well as Team Replay. Let's get into some brief introductions. I'd like to introduce my co-host. Give me a second here. Get you. I got a little surprise for you. All right, Kendra, you're off camera.
That's okay. My face is right there. So hey, that looks great, Americo. Yeah, so you can see Boomtag Media is my business. I'm a digital marketing strategist and implementer, and I help service-based businesses mostly. That tagline there, that really means a lot to me. Light the spark that makes your business boom. So my podcast and everything that I do, these lives, and all about talking with businesses about strategies that will help them just boom and help their businesses take off. So thank you for that introduction. That's really cool that you made.
Well, I'm constantly testing new things out, as those who follow me on other events. Never afraid to test, never afraid to suck at something, and understanding that the intent and the purpose is to get better and help others be seen, heard, and remembered. My name is Americo, and I just learned that I'm going to have to change this and move the avatars over to the left so that we don't block each other off the camera. I'm the founder of Journey Logic, producer of live virtual experiences, and big supporter of visibility, community building, and really enjoy helping others be seen, heard, and remembered for themselves. Now, let's take a moment and say hello to everyone. Hello and welcome to the show. It is an absolute pleasure having you here. Hey, we can even change up the colors so that it matches our theme. Here we go. We'll go with
that's
something.
Perfect.
All right. So welcome to everyone. As you are tuning in, let's double check, make sure that we are live. Turns out that we are. Fantastic. And if you have questions and you're joining along and you're here during the live episode, works on replays as well, because I continue to engage in the comments. But if there are questions, you do have comments, please feel free to drop them, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions and your comments throughout the live event.
And if they would like the event link, if they'd like to join on the stage, should they just put that in the comments as well?
Yes. If we are connected, definitely send Kendra or myself a DM, and we will send you the studio link, and you can join us, join the conversation. If we are not connected, please feel free to reach out, connect with one of us, or connect with both of us, and we'll be happy to send you the link and welcome you to the stage and have you join in the conversation. So today's topic is building in public. However, there's the caveat. Email. Does email have a place when it comes to building a personal brand in public? And I'm going to let you answer that. I think we all know 6 months ago where I stood.
Yes.
My love-hate relationship for emails. Man,
And I'm excited to hear the update. I think you said you have an update for me, so I will definitely be excited to hear that. I've always been on team email. There's so many reasons for that. Building your own email list is something that you own, and if your platform goes down, if you lose the ability to use your login on a platform that you really built up, if you have your email list, then that is something you will always have access to and always be able to connect with and talk to your people. I feel like emails something we should all always be building, adding new people to our new connections as much as possible.
so I think you've answered the question. Email as a visibility tool. At first, I was reluctant to adapt and adopt email as a visibility tool, but some things have changed. My 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 appreciation for email has shifted. I'm not all in yet, but I'm starting to see some of the why behind email, and there's a place for it in my wheelhouse where 6 months ago I didn't think it had any place or purpose when it came to my business strategy. We have someone joining us and listening on YouTube. We don't know who that is, but feel free, drop a comment in the chat and let us know where you're joining from. If you have questions, drop them in. We'd be happy to answer those questions. It is always a pleasure seeing our communities show up and support across different channels. We are multi-streaming today across YouTube as well as LinkedIn. But more importantly, we'll be able to repurpose this content in other channels. And I'm excited. There's been some great chatter, some great content that has been created on each of one of these episodes. And I love sharing it up, sharing with the community and breaking it up into bite-sized pieces. Hey, listen, I get it. People might not be able to spend the hour with us, but the stats, they don't lie. People come back. The unique views versus total views, people resonate with what we have to say, and they either pick up where they left off or they come back and try to re-listen to something that really resonated with them. And that's the purpose, right? We're building community and tying it back to email. Email has the same purpose, right? So why does building in public now become more important? It becomes important because that's what people want. People want to see us show up in different styles, different formats, show up in different places, but they want us to show up as ourselves. And I didn't believe, right? I didn't believe that that could be done via email, but turns out that it can.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I have to be totally honest with you. I have been a lot better about doing my clients' emails than I have been doing my own. But I thought once I get the podcast up and rolling, I need to become better, become like a regular habit, send a weekly email at least to let people know what's going on with the podcast. And I'm on week 13 now, and I've already slid back and not kind of been as consistent as I meant to be. But hey, we're talking about building in public and being authentic, so I'm just going to bring it to you real and tell you what's really going on with that. I do like to see when other people are sending them. There's the ones that you haven't subscribed to their email list. They found you on LinkedIn and they're kind of hoping to be able to pitch you. Those are not the kind of emails that I'm talking about. That is not the kind of emails that I think you want to be in the habit of sending. It's more of building a connection with your community and those who want to follow you. They want to know what's going on in your world and with the events that you're producing, or if you're a speaker, that's actually speaking on stages rather than virtual stages. They want to know what cities you're visiting and things like that. There are people who actually are wanting to receive those in their inbox.
It is something that has evolved, and the more I jump into the data and the analytics, I didn't realize how much of a data nerd I was. And numbers paint a picture, and as the numbers were being nurtured and cultivated right before my eyes, I started to see, hey, the potential. I had a very small list. I was about 380 emails that kind of just sat there stagnant, did nothing with it. And when I put out my first email, you learn something. It's like, all right, I should have scrubbed and suppressed some of this. Huge bounce and huge unsubscribe. Some of the people on that list were on there for so long that they probably forgot who I was because I just ignored it, right? But as time progressed, I'm maybe into week 6, 7 of this nurturing campaign. And to see that my list is growing. So by week 2, my list continued to shrink. It's like, oh my God, I keep losing more people. More reason to believe what I thought was, hey, this is totally what I was talking about. This doesn't work. But then as I started to clean it up and suppress the ones that shouldn't be there, remove the ones that shouldn't be there, I started to see an improvement in the click-through rate. Started to see good traffic in clicks. So there's something there. I haven't really pinpointed exactly what it is, but what I'm envisioning is that email is not a sales tool. Don't go on email to pitch someone. At least for what I do, it's not going to work. But what I am noticing through the clicks is using it to share and broadcast what's happening in my community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say it also has this really great ability to keep you top of mind, whereas you're not depending on an algorithm to push your content and get in front of the eyeballs that you're hoping to get in front of. If you're consistently sending emails, doing a better job than me, myself, you are going to do a really great job staying top of mind, even if your impressions are low on social media.
Yeah, and that's another great thing that I've discovered. And this isn't new to anyone who's familiar with email, but when I can visualize the clicks that I'm getting on other social channels as a result of my email, right? I can quantify, say, hey, I got so many visits to my website. I got so many visits to my LinkedIn profile. I got so many visits to the events that I'm putting on. That triggers something, and it now gives me an opportunity. Hey, I can now amplify and promote my guest speakers because people are listening. And it turns out, and then I'm perfectly fine with it, that my guests, when mentioned, can get more clicks because I'll put in a hyperlink to promote and get visibility to my guests, and the guests get more clicks than my domains. But I'm fine with that. That's the intent, right? My purpose is to help others be seen, heard, and remembered. And now I've been able to piece together that here's another medium that'll help me do that for my customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great avenue to use in conjunction with the live strategy that you're using and the just general social media.
So we have Christina joining us, and thank you, Christina. Great topic, Americo and Kendra. Um, I was going to say love. I don't love email just quite yet, but it is growing on me. I'm not going to lie to you. It is growing on me. I now see the purpose, and I can connect the dots. And putting my marketing hat, my customer experience hat on, I talk about, that omni-channel experience where your message is seamless no matter where you're showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I can now connect that. And guess who I'm going to thank? I'm going to thank you, because you were part of that. We had Zakira on as a guest when we first spoke about email. She stands behind it, and she is an advocate of email marketing. You are also an advocate, and between the two of you, you kind of planted that seed, and with good nurturing, it's starting to win me over.
Okay, I like to hear it.
So
That's good.
Thanks, Christina, for jumping in and sharing that comment with us. Why don't we jump in and talk about something else? I have a few questions here lined up, and a few things to share with the audience. So we talked about building in public. We talk about how email can now play a role. For some, it has already played that role, but for me, it's just starting to. And the question I started to ask myself, does email support authenticity and community and connection? At one point, I didn't think it did. What are your thoughts?
I think I am on some really great email lists where I see some really good examples of people just sharing what's going on with their week in a really personal way, and they're not pitch slapping at all. They may have a link down at the bottom or wrap it up at the very end in a nice pretty bow, like how this relates to what I offer. But the majority of the email, so like I'm going to say over 3/4 of the email, is just like a personal story. And I know you do another live with Jay about storytelling. So I think if there's a way that you can incorporate some storytelling within your emails and your nurture emails, it really can build that authenticity and connection.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's what I'm leaning into. At times I'll refer to this content trilogy, and it's no longer a trilogy because now it has more than three facets when I include email. But I center my content now around my shows, and there's typically some polls. Now there's emails that lead up to these events. So I'm sharing through email a little bit of the storytelling, a little bit of my narrative. Hey, here's what transpired last week in last week's episode. Here's where some of the key takeaways. Here's what we learned. And if you'd like to hear or listen to, the conversation, feel free to jump in and listen to the replay. And then here's what's coming up. We're excited to have you join us. And it kind of plants the seed and you mentioned, makes us front of mind. And not everyone is going to be following my LinkedIn feed, but if I start planting my presence and sharing with my community where that community might be present, then it's going to bring more awareness. It might not bring more visibility right from the get-go, but with live events and with email, this is all part of the long game, right? You can't expect, and I touched on this morning, a lot of people give up on live events, and similarly, a lot of people give up on email. Hey, I gave up before even starting. And there's a childhood memory that pops into my mind. How often as children or as adolescents did we tell our parents, I don't want to eat that, I don't like it, never having tried it, right? How can you, mom and dad would always tell me, how could you not like something that you've never tried?
Mm-hmm.
And here I was with email telling everyone how much I hated it, not having tried it.
You know what, Americo? It's okay. There's things that I have prejudged as well. So I can't think of a great example off the top of my head, but I know it's been me on the other side of that in certain instances as well.
So a few lessons learned, and let's jump into the lessons. Let's jump into my narrative. I am building my personal brand, my business in public, and I'm okay sharing this with people. But I did learn that you can turn emails into multi-channel content, right? We take this show and we repurpose it, and you don't have to compete with yourself and different ideas. What am I going to say, or what am I going to put together and string together in an email? Well, what do you talk about now? It's like, what are you doing today? It's like, why not make that part of your narrative?
Mm-hmm.
And that was part of my struggle, even with my written content. I felt that my live events and my content had to be two separate entities, and I was spinning my wheels, and I was going a little stir crazy because I was competing with myself. And when you do that, your audience just isn't going to resonate. And that's that whole mentality where, hey, you try to be all things to all people, and everyone kind of has to learn at their own pace, despite what mentors and others are saying in terms of advice. Listen, you can't be all things to all people. You get in your lane, stay in your lane, be the expert in one thing. The opportunity will come to share your expertise in the different areas that you want to be able to help people. But if you front load it as being all things to all people, not going to work. Right?
Yeah.
So I've kind of taken that advice that was given many times over, and I've reflected on it. It's like, man, people are right. I am now in a position similarly to those who gave me advice to tell those who are seeking help. It's like, yeah, you don't want to do that. It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know you hear the niche down so much that sometimes it's like, but I'm afraid to alienate a certain group of people if I say I only serve this niche. I've been in that spot myself.
Hey, listen, if you take a look at where I was a year ago, I was all about this customer experience. And now that was my jam. And I wanted to improve the customer journey, and it was resonating with those who understood it, and it wasn't resonating with those who needed it most. And you can, with a little bit of refinement, this happened by accident. I'm now hosting and helping others host and build a visible, audible, visual presence, creating live event experiences for their communities, their clients. So there's still the ability to do what I love doing. I just now find that doing it through this avenue, this is my niche,
Mm-hmm.
that we can deliver an experience like no other to help people get in front of their customers, get in front of their communities, and not pitch. We don't want these live events or these email campaigns to be buy me, buy my product, buy my service. We're just having a conversation, you and I, and any event, when properly executed, there's a time and a place to sell. But if you just come and have the conversation and bring valuable information through that conversation, those who resonate with what you have to say will reach out to you. Say, hey, I'd like to learn more.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you think the social selling translates between email marketing? Like, I know on the stages, you talk about social selling a lot without pitching, but I'd love to hear more about what you think, how that works with email.
Well, you touched on it earlier. It's the whole storytelling. People are showing up they're sharing their stories. Their narrative is what compels people to want to keep reading to the bottom of that email. And that in itself is social selling. You're not talking about how shiny your products are. You're not talking about how you're solving the world's problems in your email. You're talking about your day-to-day activities. You know, some people talk about their families, their kids, their pets, you know, and I kind of laugh it off when I see a selfie, someone taking a selfie with their pets, or someone taking a bathroom selfie, and, you know, try to chalk that up as a personal brand moment. But with email, when you're starting to write that story and you're not selling, you're selling yourself socially. So there is a great opportunity through email to do that. And there's still a considerable amount of people who consume written content. And to turn a blind eye to email is doing ourselves a disservice. Don't get hung up on the fact that only 30% of people opened it, only 2% of people clicked. That is still more than 0% by not doing nothing, right?
True. And 15 to 20% is actually considered a good average. So 30% is killing it almost, you know, especially when you consider about the impressions that you would get on social media. The percentage still a good percent.
So Christina adds, you're right, Americo. We are not for everyone, and that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is with any product, any service. That's what makes us unique. We're going to gravitate to a certain community. Some refer to it as our tribe. People will just know who they prefer to work with and how they prefer to work with.
Yeah. And Christina also mentioned that Amy Porterfield, she talks about email list a lot. And she is someone that I definitely follow. She was one of the ones I was thinking of when you were asking for examples of emails that I look forward to reading. She's definitely one of them.
So I'm not following her, but I guess I should. I'm outnumbered here. Two of you have mentioned, and I should go back to the replay and make sure that I get that name. All right. Oh, we covered this already. Here's another lesson that I learned: aligning email with my brand voice. Right, and that kind of ties into the last question you asked. And I mentioned trying not to compete with myself. My brand voice is about visibility and helping others gain visibility. That message isn't, and for the time being, for the long foreseeable future, won't include a pitch. It may include some free cohorts. But I want my brand voice to resonate and people to feel comfortable, to know that I'm genuinely looking to help others grow their community, get them the visibility, get them the social authority, so that they too can be remembered. Now, I'm not going to say at some point or at any point that I'm going to be an email expert. I'm just taking a pause and sharing with my community. It's like, this is something that I can advocate. And this is something that I can now say has a place in anyone's strategy, right? Supplement it with anything else that you might be doing, because it is part and parcel of the entire business strategy. You don't want to have a great online presence and then lose out to someone who sent an email. Right?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because your competitors probably are doing it.
and that is something I used to tell those who worked along my side. It's like, listen, if you're not doing it, if you're not exhibiting the behaviors to help that customer make an informed decision, if you don't believe that what you're selling or the value of the products that you're representing has a place in that customer's house, in that customer's decision, guess what? Our competitors are doing what you refuse to do. So just get on board, find a comfortable way to have that conversation, because if you don't do it, someone else will. Right? You
Very
might
true.
not sell it, but don't assume that something isn't going to work. Back to the example. Don't say you don't like something if you haven't tried it. Don't make decisions on behalf of the customer. Let the customer make that informed decision. Our role as trusted advisors in any business is to educate and inform and provide enough information for that customer to make an informed decision. Making that decision for them could cost you the sale, because that next person, whether a competitor or a colleague, if they take the time to nurture that relationship and educate and bring value, then they will sell, right? And that can be done through email. That can be done through many, many ways.
Yeah, and it's just another touch point, because you need multiple touch points with potential customers before they feel comfortable enough to buy. So it serves a lot of reasons, being top of mind and another touch point as well.
And my last lesson learned, and I'm sure it's not the last lesson, these are just like 3 lessons so far, is using email as an invitation and not just as a place to dump or drop information, right? We know we're not here to pitch. We're not going to sell, but we also don't want to just inform and just overload the reader with information that may or may not have a place or a purpose for them. Using it as an invitation to, visit a website, visit an event, or an invitation to learn more without feeling any pressure that they're going to be sold something. Because nobody likes, for whatever reason, nobody likes to be pressured into something they had no idea they needed. Right? And there are sales gurus who probably will disagree with my methodology, but listen, it's worked for me. It's brought me success in different roles. I've email aside, I would say I learned a lot from some of the products that I've sold. I've sold bottled water when office coolers were a thing. I used to sell those big 20-gallon jugs.
The water coolers. Yeah.
I was the water cool sales guy.
Okay.
And let me tell you, sales would shoot through the roof when it was 110 degrees outside, and you just walk in with a little glass of water. It's like, hey, who wants some of this? Right? I've sold ice cream. 2 products that very seasonal, very, very hard to sell. So I get the whole sales dynamic, and today's show isn't about sales, but I just thought I'd add that to the story. Using email as a invitation vehicle, a form to bring people to a safe place where they can continue to learn more about your message, your value. So it's getting better as each week progresses. I'm using the same format, the same template, just so that people can get comfortable with my brand. Hey, there's Americo's mug again on the top of this email. But hey, I'm not getting as many unsubscriptions. That means there's either an appetite, or I'm getting better at cleaning up my list and getting more views. So the 2% is steady, 2% click rate. I'm steadily getting, let's say 30%. My email provider. So I'm using my domain provider to do my email. They tell me that I'm at 45% open rate. Of course, the averages are skewed because I've only done this for 6 weeks. But if I look at my last 3 weeks, I'm in that 30% range, and that's probably where I'll end up settling. But I think that's standard.
Mm-hmm.
When I do some research, 30% is a good place to be.
Yeah, it really is. It's a very good rate, like I was saying. So
So
you're doing good. You're growing, and I'm glad you didn't give up on it.
I'm glad I didn't give up on it either, right? And it's almost kind of like taking my own medicine as a coach. You're helping people make decisions when they're ready to give up. It's like, all right, let's revisit this. Let's see if there's something we can do differently. So it'd be foolish of me not to take my own advice when I'm having people revisit and reconsider how they're doing things. Why wouldn't I? So I gave it a try. I went in reluctantly, and it's starting to shift my perception. And I'm starting to see the value and the place and the purpose that it brings to my community. So for those who are non-believers, I'm going to probably create a short here. Let's pause. Say for those who are non-believers in email, think again, give it a second look, give it a third look. Don't give up. It does work. It may not work as well as you had anticipated, but that goes with anything, right? A lot of us go into something because we've invested. We expect instant gratification, instant results. It's not how life works, right? We're not buying a tangible product where, hey, look what I bought. I bought an email list filled with customers ready to buy. No, you got to nurture that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those in the audience, let's ask a question. Share your email wins or your email challenges. I know we're 40 minutes into the call. Let's bring Christina's comment up here. It works the same as social media. You cultivate first, grow loyalists. Depends on what you do. Dropping a new offer or a new book to cultivated lists works very well, but it's not something you do every email drop. That's right. You're not.
Yeah.
This is a trickle and not a pour.
That's a very good point. If you ignore your email list and then wait until you have this new big offer coming out and you're like, okay, now I'm going to bombard them with sales emails, that's not going to work as well as if you've been nurturing and cultivating that list and having them get to know you through your emails before you drop that new offer.
Right,
Great point, Christina.
We have someone joining us on stage. Brian.
Okay.
Brian, welcome to the conversation. How are you, my friend?
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Kendra Noel, for inviting me. I apologize for being late. I just got clear, and I had the only real good excuse to be late is because I was bringing in money. So,
well, hey, that's a good excuse. I'm glad you got the message. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sent that message right before we went live, and so I'm glad that it went through and that you were able to join us on stage today. Can you tell us more about yourself?
I was born a poor Black child. I'm playing. My name is Brian K. McNeil, and I'm a sales coach. I'm a sales confidence coach because there's a lot of people that offer services that genuinely do help others. But a lot of the people that offer services that help, a lot of them do not earn the money that they could or that they should. And very often they don't earn that money simply because they do not know how to sell it well, or they're using antiquated methods of selling that no longer work. And what I do is I teach people what to say and what to do so they can sell themselves, which they very often forget, and their services better than they ever have before so they can earn more money. And I do it through my coaching, my workshops, my talks from my platform, or my books. I'm super excited. I just published my 9th book. Woo, woo, woo.
Wow. That's something to be proud of for sure.
Yep. Can I show you the cover?
Absolutely.
Okay, the cover of my 9th book is Timid Entrepreneurs Have Skinny Kids. Timid entrepreneurs have skinny kids. Thank you.
You saw it here first, folks. Timid.
Love it. Love it. Hello, America. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for joining. That is 9 times published. That is quite an accomplishment. Listen, people have a tendency of being hard on themselves. A lot of people, when it comes to the whole sales conversation, they believe, hey, I'm more of a service person. I'm not really a salesperson. Listen, failing to service the needs of a customer is just as bad as not being able to sell. And I'm glad there's people
glad
like you.
brought that up too, because you're right. It's a mindset.
You got it.
They say stuff like, I'm not a salesperson, or I'm not trying to sell, or it's not about the sale, is because they've attached a negative connotation to the word. Okay. And they don't need a negative connotation to attach to the word. The word means to help. That's where it originated from, to help someone, to get the goods and services in exchange of something of value. Nothing happens until a sale is made. Everything you're wearing, every place you live, every place you're driving, because someone was willing to sell something to somebody else. It's a positive. I consider it one of the critical skills. And one of my books is called Mastering Sales Language. It's called Eliminating the subtitle is Eliminate These 21 Harmful Phrases. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like selling. Nobody's buying. No one has any money. All that stuff is not true. I don't like selling. First off, is number one, not true. You do too like selling, and I can prove it. Because have you ever sold anything? A car, a book, a house, or clothing, bicycle. If you've ever sold anything that you offered, and someone gave you the money for what you offered, and they took what you offered, when they were out of your company, did you ever think, I don't like that they paid me for something that I offered? No, you didn't. You liked the fact that someone paid you for something that you offered. That's the selling part. You like the selling part. What people don't like is the potential for rejection and the not knowing what to say first, second, and third. And both of those can be learned. They don't like
Absolutely. They can be learned. And if we tie it back to today's center and theme, email, you touched on negative connotation. I'll be the first to put my hand up. I had a negative connotation when it came to email because I thought there was no place, no purpose for email in my life. Someone's trying to sell me something. Turns out that there's a place for email, right? And it may be part of the sales process.
It is.
Right? But for many of us, it's a challenge trying to embrace emails as a win. And Kendra has been gracious enough to kind of hold my hand and walk me through this, and that it's okay. Emails can be your friend.
Yeah. Brian, I'm so glad to see your face and get to meet you in person because we just connected on LinkedIn. So you're a brand new connection with me, and I invited you to this event. And you said, "Well, hey, can I participate, or is it just to show up and watch?" And I was talking with Americo beforehand. When we first started this strategy session, we used to invite a lot of people on stage, and it's been a while. So I was like, hey, this might be a really good opportunity to get some more input. So as far as email marketing and sales go, we just kind of had a conversation about not making every marketing email that you send a super salesy CTA at the end. Some of them need to be nurturing. But when you do have something to sell, as far as email marketing, can you give us your thoughts on that?
I sure can. Thank you very much. Process. Now, understand that selling is a process. It's not an event. Okay. So it's a process. I'm going to tell you how many emails I think you should send, because people keep asking me, how many times should I email? I'm going to tell you that. But I would like to role play something with you first, Kendra.
Okay.
So are you willing?
Sure. Let's go for it.
Okay. So for the purpose of this role play, let's say you're a single woman. Okay. For the purpose of this role play, let's say it's a Saturday afternoon and you were out running errands or shopping or whatever, and you decided to pull over at a hotel bar and just have one drink before you head home. That was your mindset. Okay. Have a drink before I go home. So I see you in the bar. Now the role play starts now. I'm walking up to you. Okay. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm hoping my husband's not watching. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm good.
I have a wife too. Okay. Just for the purpose of this role play. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well today. Thank you.
Good. My name is Brian. Please tell me, what's your name?
My name is Kendra.
Kendra, I think that you are lovely. Can we get married?
I think we need to get to know each other first. Yes.
See, she laughed initially. Mm-hmm. People who don't understand selling, that's how they treat it. They act like, well, I offered it to them, and she said no. She has no way she could say yes. She don't know if I have any redeeming qualities or not. She don't know if there's anybody who likes me. She don't know if she likes me or not. But people who don't understand selling, that's how they treat it, as if it's an event. They walked up and they offered it. Well, here it is. They didn't take it. I guess I'm going to keep moving on. So it's not that. It's a process, okay? Here's how often you present, and then you follow up. After you do your initial follow-up a week, 2 weeks later, you follow up with every potential client at least once a month until they buy or die. Okay, you follow up once a month forever, and on your follow-up, it needs to be any excuse to put yourself on their minds. It don't have to be a sale. It could be an award you received. It could be an amazing thing that you saw. It could be something inspirational in the Olympics or something else. But all you're doing is just giving them a chance to see your name again. There's 2 rules. You never forget about a potential client, and you never let a potential client forget about you. You just stay on their mind in a positive way. That's it. Now, if anyone ever says, I've gotten your last 25 emails and your 25 text messages and your last 25 voicemails, I don't want you to contact me anymore. You didn't send that many. But if they say anything like that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to let them go, because they have served their purpose already. You're not going to run out of potential clients. So everyone that, unless they expressly say, please don't contact me, you follow up with them once a month forever. Okay. It might be 40 people now, 400 next month, 40,000. We have tools that make it easier if it's 400,000. But everyone that has ever learned about what you do and learned how you can help them, you touch them. Don't even think of it as emails or texts or phone call. Count them as touches. Mm-hmm. You just want to touch them. The average sale in America happens after the 5th touch. Yes. The average sale. Most entrepreneurs today commit the number one crime most entrepreneurs commit today is they never, ever even ask for business even once. They never ask because they want to be liked, and they don't want to risk the likeness by asking for the business. So they never ask at all. But the ones that do have some training and some energy, they will ask for the business, but they'll only ask once or twice. Only the champions will follow up the requisite number of times. Only the champions will follow up the requisite 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 times. It's just what you do. You don't have to judge the process each way. Well, I've touched them 3 times already. They haven't said yes yet. Doesn't matter how many. It's just part of the process. I hope that helps.
That does help. And for those listening outside of the U.S. and maybe part of the Canadian landscape, the average here in Canada is also 5 touches. And a lot of people give up after the second and even third attempt. They don't realize that they were so close and they gave up halfway. And I totally agree. If someone says, stop bothering me, then you stop bothering them.
Mhm.
There are
Yeah.
options
Let 'em-
to unsubscribe, and for those who
Mhm.
don't do it themselves or send an email and say, hey, can you please take me off your list, just respectfully do it, because if you think that that continuously pecking is going to work, guess what, you're doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
Right. You're
Yeah. I have a continuous pecker right now who will not stop just sending me follow-up messages. And I've already told them I'm going to buy. Well, the business I'm working for is going to buy. It's a cash flow issue at this time, and we'll get back to you. But then he keeps getting back to me, which is fine. I don't mind him, bringing the email back up to the top of mind. But it's always in a negative way. Like, have you given up on this? Are you still going to buy from me? For me, that is kind of a big turnoff.
yeah.
Well, it is because it's not bad that he's following
Right.
up, but the way he's following up is bad.
Mhm.
He should follow up with more news or more benefits. I'm not sure if I mentioned it the last time. I may have, but what this program gives you is also this, just a good reason to follow up. Okay, or it includes
Mhm.
that, or it includes an additional training, or it includes something. If he came to you with news or benefits, that's different than have you thought about this? Because the way he's doing it is coming across as accusatory, and it's putting you in a position where you have to defend yourself, and that's wrong.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Daniel, you have yourself a supporter if you're not already connected with Daniel. Daniel agrees following up is key to business success, and you speak with
Brian is the
Brian.
truth. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
So y-
I want to say this to you. Selling is systems. Adopting a system is more profitable than skills. Okay. A step-by-step approach is more profitable than having the gift of gab or being smooth. Just the nuts and bolts of it. How do we go from initial interest to paying client? And a lot of entrepreneurs are in want of a system or don't have one. Okay. And they can adopt one from someone else's. But even if they do, it's going to be an amalgamation of their own personalities in the system that they adopt. But developing or adopting a system is much more profitable than trying to wing it, much more profitable than trying to, they like me, they like me, they like me. Not enough. Liking you is not enough today. They will not do business with you just because they
Hey.
like you. They have to like you and have a good reason to do business.
that is so true. I share with people time and time again. I've taken my likes, I've taken my impressions to the bank, try to pay my bills, and the bank keeps telling me, we got no use for your likes, we got no use for your impressions. Keep them at home. They mean nothing.
Mhm.
Liking you is not enough. People have gotten it. Oh, I'm afraid what I'm about to say will throw your show off. Okay.
Let's
might
hear
be
it. I can always
controversial when I
edit it
wanna
after.
Okay. Well, this might be controversial. Okay. But there's this really, really popular ideology that people repeat over and over again as if it's gospel. And I'm going to say to you, it's just not true. The ideology is this: people do business with people that they know,
Like and trust.
trust.
Absolutely.
KLT. People say that over, and normally drums blare, horns blare, the drums go after. People do business with people that know, like, and trust. And I challenge that theory because it's just not true. It's an incomplete thought, first off. It's originally Greek formula. People must like you before they listen to you before they can trust you, and trust you before they can buy from you. But the way we mess it up is they work so hard to be liked. They only have to like you enough to hear your story. They do not have to like you enough to be in their wedding. Okay? There is a lot of people that like you and know you're in business, but they've never done business with you because they don't have a reason to. There's a lot of people that you like and you know that they're in business. You like them a lot, but you've never done business with them because you don't have a reason to. If they like you and they have a reason, like if they like you and they know that you're going to help them to save some time in an area or achieve a result faster in an area, Well, then that's a reason to do business with you because they like you and you're going to save them some time. Or if they like you and you can help them with the money, help them either earn more money or save some money or both, then it's a reason. Liking you by yourself is not enough. You got to have a real tangible reason that they can grasp onto plus that. There's a lot of people that will hire you and they barely know you. Okay. I can go into a BNI meeting and get clients out of it. I can go to an Alignable meeting and get clients out of it. And they met me for 7 minutes. Okay. That's all. They only have to like you enough to hear your story. They do not have to like you enough. And there's so many entrepreneurs waste. If you have a coffee meeting with someone, you go there and you these get to know you meetings and you have your coffee, you get to know each other, and then you leave each other presence hour, 2 hours. If you never at least discover what they do and tell them what you do and try to see if you can be helpful, what happens when you separate company is they like you less because you just took 2 hours of their life but didn't add anything. You know, they like you less. You didn't help them. And if they have a problem that your services solves and you didn't offer the solution, they really like you less because what you did basically was just picked at their problem and didn't help.
That is such a good point. I have never heard it said that way. And it totally makes sense because they probably interest was sparked. That's why they wanted to have the conversation with you in the first place. But if you never offer them any solutions, then
yeah, I'm just getting to know them.
Brian,
Okay.
I don't think we're connected.
Yes, sir.
we need to connect. I'd love to have a conversation with you.
I want to connect
Fantastic.
with you too.
So you heard it here first, folks. We have breaking news. Brian is the first to stand up and say that like, know, and trust isn't everything. It is something, but it isn't everything.
I'm thinking back, America, all the times we've said that on this show.
I believe in the like, know, and trust. I think there's value in like, know, and trust, but Brian has the courage to stand up. It's like, all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves, folks. Like, know, and trust isn't everything. People buy from.
It's not enough by itself. Okay, it's just not. Okay, but helping people is. You know, the thought of, are you selling to people or for them? To them or for them? See, if you're selling for them, you know it's because they're going to be better off if they take your solution, and sometimes significantly better off. So if you're selling your service because you know if they give you the money you ask for, their life greatly improves in some kind of a way. That's selling for their benefit. If you're selling to them, you're trying to make money. Okay. Now, if you know you're selling for them, you owe it to them to motivate them to take your solution. Selling today is more of a motivational act than it's ever been before, motivating people to take an action that will benefit them greatly.
That makes sense. Listen, you're building a little bit of a fan club here. Daniel goes on to say, if done correctly, people will actually thank you for the follow-up. And I think that that is true. And if you respect them, they will also be the first to refer you, even if they don't buy from you. If someone turns you down, don't get all heated, because that same person who turned you down doesn't mean they don't find what you offer valuable. They just don't have a place for it at that time. But they will be the first to advocate for you. If you're bringing a solution that has value and purpose for someone, they will say, hey, you know what? Reach out to Brian. He's your guy. And
sometimes it's timing.
Absolutely.
America. It's okay. Selling is a process. It's not an event. They don't have to say yes now. The game's not over because they didn't say yes right then. But one more thing that gives me solace, especially if they don't buy from me, the average American knows at least 600 people. That's the average American. Okay. And if you do someone well or you offer good solutions, they tell a few people that they know. A few. If you don't serve them well, they tell more people that they know. You should always think of it as you're selling through people and sell it just to them. I'm selling into Kendra's network. I'm selling into Americo's network, not just to them. Okay. I'm selling
This
fruit.
is fantastic. I'm enjoying this conversation. We are at the top of the hour, and I'd be happy to stick around, but let's close this off, cap it off with our last question, and I'm curious to hear both your thoughts in terms of how do we measure success in our emails? Is it conversion? Is it community? Is it connection? There's no right or wrong answer. It could be something different for different people. For some, email is about building an audience, while for others, it's about building community.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a difference, a distinguishable difference between both. How do both of you look at the measurement of success when it comes to email?
Brian, do you want to go first?
I could go first, but I hope I'm not controversial either.
Hey, let's hear it. Let's hear it. I got more sound effects for your controversy. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh! Now remember, you pulled this out of me. I think there's things called useless stats. Okay, it doesn't matter how many touches it took. It doesn't matter. You just do your work. You do your follow-up. There's only few stats that matter. How much money you brought in, how many times you actually talk to them and they talk to you back. Real touches, direct communications, that matters. Your targets, your goals, that matters. But all this stuff, how many phone calls you make, how many this and that, and how many measurements of that, I'm of the opinion that it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you do your work. The thing is, your game knows if you're working. Your game is your business, and you can't cheat your game. So you have to keep doing your business. You have to make the calls. You have to send the emails. It's just what you do. And I think some people wear themselves out by judging every part of the process too often. I don't have to measure the success of an email, but I do have to send an email. Okay. I don't have to judge it, and I hope that doesn't throw us off too much.
It doesn't. I'll come back to you. Let's hear what Kendra has to say.
Okay, so I'm just going to say that my perception has changed going from being an employee who ran email marketing campaigns. In my mind at that time, because of the way I was trained, it was all about the analytics and how well that email performed, in my mind, had to do with the open rate, the click-through rate, those kind of things that we talked about at the beginning, Americo. But now that I am a marketing company and I have clients who come to me to do their marketing emails, and I'm going to tell you, they don't care what the open rate is if nobody's buying. So I think the conversion rate is got to be more important in the current position that I hold.
Awesome. So
I love that. Thank you, Kendra.
Here's my thought. And Brian, you said something that resonates so well with myself as a sales professional, a sales leader. Listen, I love data. I can spend all day trying to orchestrate an image from what data shares with us, but you nailed something that resonates with me, and a message that I always used to articulate to my team: stop focusing on the numbers, focus on the behavior, and the numbers take care of themselves. Right? If you chase numbers, you will disappoint yourself more times than not. But if you focus on the behavior, those numbers will reward you. So that is, I think we'd be great dancing partners when it comes to selling.
I have some what I call magical numbers. Okay. And one magical number. I know we're formally ending the topic. I'm willing to hang out too. If you want to formally end, or I can pick it up another time. I would love to come again.
Well, you're welcome to come as many times as you feel is necessary. We'll gladly bring you on stage.
I'll come with Kendra. Invite me. That's how I go.
Well, if we connect, you'll probably get invited to one of 4 different variations of shows and subject matters that I cover, and your thoughts are welcome.
I love this. Okay, I love this. I love your spirit of willingness to let me be controversial at times. But anyway, the magic number is 4. Okay, 4 times. You need to. There's a magic number. If you will tell your story 4 times, I used to be 4 times a day, but now I'm even going to go so far as 4 times a week. If you will tell your story of what you do, why you do it, and who you do it for. If you tell it to 4 people a week, every week, you cannot fail in selling yourself and your services. That's the first number I want you to know, 4. You must tell your story at least 4 times a week to somebody who could become a potential client. That's it. And the other number, and how many times you offer your services. That means they know how much you charge and they can get it from you. How many times you offer your services. That's a good stat to keep. Okay.
And any secrets for or numbers that will keep the IRS our friends? Like if we told them, say, hey, I'm trying to write off these 4 attempts that I made, three of which failed miserably, but I still spent time, effort, and energy, and this should be a taxable write-off.
I'll pay for that, man. I don't have it. I'll pay someone to do that for me.
I don't blame you.
All right, that was just anecdotal.
Okay.
Let's jump into Dee's comment. Understand and appreciate the good aspects of their business and culture first. He's loving this conversation instead of them. So I guess that's the reference that you made. Sell through them, not to them. These are great points. Yes. Dee, I butchered reading your comments, but totally understand your sentiment, and thank you. We've made a few fans here, Brian. I think you deserve a round of applause.
That's nice. Thank you, sir.
It has been a delightful conversation. It took some time to warm up, and I can go on for hours, but I think we all have other things we'd like to do or need to do. But there's always another event just around the corner. And for those who know who I am and what I stand for, I'm here to not only build stages for you, but I'm here to also share my stage and help everyone be seen, heard, and remembered. I am going to cap it off. Let Kendra take it home. Why don't you close the show off? And we'll go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Brian, first of all, for asking the question, hey, can I join the stage? Really glad that you reached out and that worked out. So I think we should totally have you back again for a full session, just because the conversation was just so lively, and I'd love to do it again. And thank you for everyone who joined us live. And if you watch the replay, please comment in the replay your thoughts about it. And Americo, I know you'll be going live again soon, like you said, just around the corner. Can I name drop someone that I'm having just around the corner, because they've been a part of the strategy session before? So my next Business Boom podcast live recording will be on, I'm going to butcher this, the 6th or 7th, I think, of September. I don't know. I'll put out a formal announcement. But anyway, my guest will be Roy Kowarski.
Fantastic. Roy's a fabulous community member. Look forward to that. Those who don't follow Roy, here's a shout out. Reach out, Roy Kowarski, Out There Branding, founder of Out There Branding. He's a fabulous person. An Aussie. I don't think I've met an Aussie who wasn't fabulous. Right? They're so humble. They're so helping. But I'm sure there's many who help across North America as well. So let's look out for your invitation and your upcoming event. Thanks for sharing that. And for the rest of you who joined us live, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for being with us here on live. Those listening to the replay, feel free to drop your comments. I'm always engaging in comments, both live as well as offline. I am going to close this off with another verse from Be Seen, Be Heard, Be Remembered theme song, something that is being integrated into my personal brand. So hope you enjoy it. Bye for now.